It's one of the worst kept secrets in politics. Governor Scott has an announcement today in Orlando, and it's expected he'll announce his run for U.S. Senate.
No matter the crime, being a victim is never easy. What's being done to help victims? Straight ahead.
And students at one Florida university are trading in their parking tickets, and it's all to support a good cause. We've got your traffic and weather. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
It is indeed a Monday by all accounts right now, April 9th.
We definitely feel it around here. It is such a Monday morning. Welcome to Monday.
Yes, glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. We've got what a switch in weather. It's a little different out there today.
I know,
Yeah.
and John's Tuesday forecast looks pretty dicey.
Yeah.
Good morning, John.
Good morning. Remember last Monday how beautiful it was? Low relative humidity. Everything was nice and good. And there were rainbows and birds chirping and flowers were in bloom. Remember all that?
Movie.
Well, it's muggy outside right now, humid, and the stage is set for showers and thunderstorms, which tomorrow could possibly be fairly heavy. So we're looking at some quiet conditions across the area right now, thankfully. A little bit of cloud cover perhaps, but other than that, no rain for your morning commute, I don't think. We have some showers in Hillsborough County and Pinellas County. There's kind of a front located just to our north along the I-4 corridor, and that is producing the kind of a focal point for shower development this morning. Later this afternoon, as temperatures begin to rise, right now we're at 75 Sarasota, 73 Lakewood Ranch, 71 Perry, 72 Bradenton, Venice at 73. When those temperatures rise, we are likely to see some rainfall chances, 30–40%. Tomorrow, double it. We'll talk about that in a few.
All right, talk to you soon, John. Checking the roads right now. First off, in Manatee County, not too much so far. A little blip there in downtown. Also on 301 southbound at 70. Let's check farther south now, the northern half of Sarasota County. You'll see some issues there getting in and out of Lakewood Ranch, just east of the diverging diamond. That was not supposed to happen. Also on Bee Ridge Road, westbound around Beneva and Tuttle, some slowdowns there already. And then checking our final maps to the south, we'll find out there's this little small spots there, 75 southbound and also 41 northbound around the Northport area.
Well, murders and robberies and shootings, unfortunately, those crimes happen every day. But in the aftermath, it is the crime victims who often struggle to deal with what happened.
As part of National Crime Victims' Rights Week, law enforcement agencies across the Suncoast want to make sure victims know there are services that can help. Marla Spence is live outside the Child Protection Center in Sarasota with how the Sheriff's Office plans to reach more victims tonight.
No matter what type of crime happens, there's almost always a victim associated. Many times those victims don't know their rights or how to go about getting justice. This week, Suncoast law enforcement is making sure victims of all crimes know they are not alone or forgotten. We spoke to the victim advocate coordinator with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. She tells us her department helps victims with crisis intervention and emotional support after deputies respond to a call.
So as an advocate, it's our job also not only to provide crisis intervention and support, but also advise them of those rights and make sure those rights are being upheld through the community, through law enforcement, the state attorney's office, that they're being notified of events and things that are going on within the criminal justice system so that they're kept in the loop and they can be part of that.
The cities across the Suncoast have already designated this Crime Victims' Rights Week, and dozens of people will be here later on today. Coming up at 6:30, we're going to be telling you what resources will be available to them. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla, for the latest on this story and breaking news and also the changing forecast. Check out our app under WWSB or under My Suncoast. Happening today, Governor Scott is expected to announce his bid for U.S. Senate. The governor's in his last full year due to term limits. He's been hinting at a run against Senator Bill Nelson. Nelson is Florida's only statewide elected Democrat. Scott will make the announcement today while in Orlando.
Well, statements made on April Fool's Day that seem to be too good to be true are often taken as an April Fool's Day joke. But the president at the University of Florida was actually 100% serious. U of F President Kent Futch, he released a statement saying that parking violations on campus over the past year could be expunged if violators made food donations. It's a pretty good deal, right? Once students realized that he wasn't kidding, those donations poured in. As of Friday, nearly 2,000 traffic citations and different campus violations were exchanged for just over 9,400 donations. Good work right there. The canned goods will continue to be collected for the school's Field and Fork Pantry.
A local animal shelter will reopen this week after an outbreak of the highly contagious parvovirus. At least 5 puppies at Nate's Honor Animal Rescue in Bradenton were diagnosed with the deadly disease. They believe the puppies contracted the virus after being transported in from another shelter. Now, this shelter has since reopened and deemed safe for both adult dogs and puppies.
Well, it's a big day for Sarasota County Area Transit. Today, the Public Transportation Services will be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Siesta Key Breeze Trolley by honoring passenger number 250,000. The celebration will be at the gazebo in the Siesta Key Village. That lucky rider will win a gift basket filled with goodies and gift cards, courtesy of the Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce.
Well, here's a way to get a free pass to the state parks, but it'll take some legwork on your part first. This week, the Florida Park Service is launching a new way to document park visits. The program is called the Deluxe Real Florida Passport. So you collect stamps from the state's 175 parks. And if you get stamps from each park, then you win an annual family pass. See what I mean about a lot of legwork first?
That's a little bit of legwork, but cool idea. I like the idea of going and getting a stamp at all the places. If anything, you can just say, hey, look, all the places that we've gone to visit.
175 parks in 365 days.
I feel like that's kind of, you've paid for your pass a couple times since then.
Yeah.
A few times.
A couple times.
Still good.
6:06, first alert traffic straight ahead.
And developing overnight, there was a bus crash in New York that was carrying some spring breakers. We'll have all the details on exactly what happened when we come back.
Here's a live look at Northport. A new storefront opens today for the Atlanta Braves. They begin playing spring training full-time the spring of 2020, so another tangible sign of another major league team moving in to the Suncoast and Cornerstone Plaza in Northport. Not a great week for baseball games on the Suncoast, John Scalzi.
Well, at least the first couple of days. Then after that, things are going to change pretty quickly as they got wet this weekend. In fact, good news is the fire danger index is way down across the area. In fact, in Sarasota County, it's low, which we haven't seen in quite some time. Of course, these indexes change rapidly depending on the weather conditions. We'll talk about what you can expect in your weather conditions in the next couple of days in just a minute.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Dew points in the 50s and even the 60s are comfortable, but I think most people, if you ask them and tell them that you now have dew points in the 70s, how does it feel? They would probably say it feels muggy. And that's exactly where we are right now. Dew point 73. So for most folks, that feels kind of uncomfortably humid. Some people actually like that higher humidity, though, and that's why they moved to the moist coast. But I think as we head into the afternoon, most people are going to feel like they need that air conditioner cranking. We also will, in that warm, moist, juicy environment, have a few showers that will develop later on this afternoon. South wind comes in at about 9 right now. So by 9 o'clock this morning, 74 degrees, we'll have only maybe 20% chance of seeing an isolated sprinkle passing shower, nothing really heavy. Then as we head into the evening, or at least into the afternoon, we'll start to see the rain chance go up to about 30%. And in that case, that 30% chance is for a more significant shower, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. And then as we head into the evening, about 30%. By the time we get to midnight, we'll reduce those chances, but we're going to bring them back full force by early in the morning tomorrow as the rain chances go up to about 40%, and then even higher as we head into Tuesday afternoon. Watch the Futurecast, put it into motion. South wind continues to pump moisture in. We continue to have that throughout the day today. Cloud cover around, maybe an isolated shower or two in the afternoon. But then a frontal boundary with a line of showers begins to develop and approaches the sun coast. I think by early in the morning on Wednesday, or late in the day on Tuesday, more likely, I think, we'll have this line of showers move through the area with the potential of some heavier rains around. And we can use some heavier rainfall, get it out of the way on a Tuesday, and bring in some nicer weather for the remainder of the work week, I think. A lot of rain shower activity up to the north right now, and in fact that'll be the focal point today, this morning, for the showers. North central Florida and central Florida. West central Florida probably has to wait until tomorrow afternoon to see those 1-inch rainfalls that might be possible, or even better than 1 inch. So colder air to the north of us. The Great Lakes are seeing some temperatures currently below freezing, and they have a chance at a quick hit of snow as a low pressure area moves toward the east. We have across our region some warm, muggy air in half the state of Florida and some less muggy air with dew points in the 50s located just to our north. These are dew point temperatures you're looking at, not actual air temperatures. So those dew points in the 50s, nice, cool, crisp air. That will be headed our way, but we'll have to wait a couple of days. Here's why. Right now, a warm front divides that moist air that we're in from the dry air to the north. A low pressure area moves to the north and takes that warm front with it. But then the cold front with those lower dew point air behind it starts to sink southward on Tuesday. That's what triggers off our good chances of showers and thunderstorms. And then once that front is through here by early Wednesday morning, I think we'll see some of that drier air move in and bring us a pretty nice weekend shaping up for us. So for today, we'll look for 82 for a daytime high. Rain chance at about 40% later in the afternoon and into the evening. 70% chance tomorrow, and I'll go ahead and call it a first alert weather day just because I think some of the rains could be kind of heavy tomorrow afternoon. Nothing severe, just some pretty heavy rainfall at times. Then things clear out by early Wednesday morning, And we're left, I think, with a day Wednesday that looks pretty nice. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday even, beautiful days. Sunday we have a chance at another pretty good rainstorm moving through, and we'll talk about that in the next half hour. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Let's take a look outside your first alert traffic this morning. Starting in Manatee County, the roads are definitely starting to get a little bit more congested as they usually do around this hour. The bridges are starting to get a little bit busier as you come into Bradenton, as well as 301 north and southbound are starting to show some congestion out there this morning. In Sarasota County, those roads are still looking pretty decent. We got some slowdowns on University Parkway as well as Bee Ridge Road, and another little slowdown right there on the corner of 301 and Fruitville. Heading a little bit farther south in the area, those roads are still running pretty good. The farther south that you go, no major congestion farther south in the county. That is looking good out there. 6:15 with your first alert traffic. Well, this morning, the small Canadian town of Humboldt is still grieving for the 15 lives lost when a semi-trailer slammed into a junior hockey team's bus.
14 others did survive, but some are in critical condition. As ABC's Candace Gibson shows us, NHL players paid tribute to the victims.
Overnight, remembering the hockey heroes of Humboldt, a tight-knit town of 5,000 in rural Saskatchewan. Thousands packing the Broncos home, including the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, honoring the junior hockey team involved in that deadly crash.
This tragedy has devastated our families, our Humboldt Broncos organization, our community, Saskatchewan, Canada, and our world.
The team's president choking up as he read the names of the players who lost their lives.
Connor Lucan, Evan Thomas.
The Broncos were heading to a playoff game when their bus collided with a tractor-trailer carrying Pete Moss. 15 people died, including the team's head coach, the bus driver, and several young players.
Our favorite player was Logan Boulet. Yeah, number 27.
Logan Boulet, a team member who was taken off life support, helped turn tragedy into hope. Family members say the 21-year-old donated his organs, saving 6 lives.
Offer a moment of silence.
The tributes pouring in from the NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Winnipeg Jets, wearing Broncos jerseys in tribute. And this moving photo of 3 of the surviving players holding hands from their hospital beds has now been shared by people all around the world. Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
And a GoFundMe page to support the team has now raised more than $4.5 million. Those donations coming from nearly 60,000 people around 50 countries around the world.
Over 40 high school spring breakers were injured last night after their bus struck an overpass in Long Island. The bus had picked up the students at Kennedy Airport in New York. We're hearing now that commercial vehicles like this bus are not allowed on this section of the road since the bridges are so low in certain areas. This much more on this story next hour on Good Morning America. Sad news there.
Yeah, very much so, especially if they weren't allowed. And you see the images of that bus, it almost sheared it right off.
Oh, God. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
New fallout over that fatal fire at Trump Tower. Sprinklers, or a lack of, are now the big focus today. Plus, Marla?
Each day, police respond to crimes that leave people's lives shattered. What's being done to help them get back on their feet is at 6:30.
And a peek outside our window, see some clouds there. In fact, a 40% chance of rain today. High of 82. Tomorrow gets real dicey. John's map shows 70% chance of rain tomorrow. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Rugs as Art. You know the name. You know the building. But do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment, and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here. Because
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
New this morning, YouTube under investigation for allegedly profiting off young viewers. 20 advocacy groups are expected to file a complaint against YouTube today. They want the Federal Trade Commission to investigate the Google subsidiary for allegedly violating the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. The groups claim that YouTube illegally collected data on 23 million children. The groups are asking the FTC to fine YouTube, get this, $41,000 per violation. Now, YouTube's terms of service say it is not for anybody under the age of 13.
In this morning's Health Smart, more than 3 million Americans live with some form of autism. April's been chosen as the month to bring awareness and education to people living with it. Here's Mary Maloney with more.
April is Autism Awareness Month, launched by the Autism Society of America to help promote inclusion, understanding, and awareness for those diagnosed and living with an autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, ASD is almost 5 times more common among boys. It can be found among all ethnicities and socioeconomic groups. And while there is no definitive medical test to diagnose autism and there is no cure, early intervention, diagnosis, and treatment can help improve a child's development. Actor Ed Asner talks about his son's autism.
The child has been blessed. These are special people. They're very special. And we must take the time to appreciate them, to cultivate them, to enjoy them.
Social, emotional, and communication skills are the most common issues associated with ASD. And while learning may be different for children with ASD, there is help for them and resources out there for parents. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
And just a reminder, you can always say hello and like our pages. We update content every day on our Facebook sites.
I did. The most exciting thing that's happened to me today, other than gluing my eyelashes together, is the new Star Wars trailer that is out. You can find it on my Facebook page, ABC7.
Very exciting.
Yes.
All right, eyelashes.
True story.
I heard that, by the way.
New this morning after a fire at Trump Tower killed one resident, there are some questions that are now being raised about sprinklers in those units or the lack of them.
ABC's Candace Gibson has the latest.
In this morning's GMA First Look, authorities investigating what caused this fire at Trump Tower, not far from the president's personal residence.
Yeah, a heavy body of fire on the 504th floor. Searches are underway and the fire remains doubtful.
67-year-old Todd Brasner was killed in the fire. 6 firefighters were injured.
It's a very difficult fire. It's a well-built building. It's built
The upper floors, which are residence floors, are not sprinklered.
Trump's Fifth Avenue luxury tower opened in 1983, before sprinkler systems were mandated by law. The New York Times reports Trump himself fought against new sprinkler legislation requiring retrofitting in the 90s, citing concerns about the installation cost, up to $4 per square foot. And coming up at 7 a.m., we examined whether sprinklers could have prevented the tragedy and how to learn about the fire laws where you live. With your GMA First Look, I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
This is my body of proof.
Proof of less joint pain.
And clear skin.
This is my body of proof that I can take on psoriatic arthritis.
With Humira.
Humira works by targeting and helping to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to both joint and skin symptoms. It's proven to help relieve pain, stop further joint damage, and clear skin in many adults. Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for psoriatic arthritis.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Want more proof? Ask your rheumatologist about Humira.
What's your body of proof?
Fun for the whole family, the 26th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival Grounds.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
You saw the president leave there. Do you believe
What's next for Governor Rick Scott? Well, we're going to find out. Today is the big day, a big announcement from Orlando.
And a big construction project resumes today on Anna Maria Island. We'll have details of this one. Marla?
You've survived a robbery or a shooting, but what next? We're telling you what resources are available to crime victims straight ahead. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Good morning to you. Welcome to this Monday morning. Thanks for waking up with us or joining us again. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. Monday, April the 9th, and a big change in the weather on the way. Looks like a lot of dark clouds on the horizon tomorrow, John.
Well put, my man. Well put. Yes, we have a cold front that's approaching, and that cold front promises us potential for some heavier rainfall around. Certainly some parts of north central Florida could see some 3-inch rainfalls, and we could be a party to that as well. We have right now some very warm, muggy air sitting over us. And as you head out the door this morning, you'll notice it. It's thick. Dew points are in the 70s. Temperatures are also in the 70s, so it's a warm start to the day. 75 Sarasota, 73 Lakewood Ranch, 71 in Bradenton, 73 in Venice. And as we head into the afternoon, we'll see those temperatures climb into the 80s. When that happens, when we start to see those temperatures in the 80s, we'll have to factor in good chances of seeing some showers around. About 30% up to 40% chance today for some rainfall. Tomorrow, you can almost double those rain chances. We'll talk about that forecast coming up in a few.
All right. Thank you, John. Talk to you soon. Let's check the roads right now. A little built up there, looks like on 301 around Palmetto as you head toward Ellington. Also 301 southbound heading toward northern Sarasota County. Let's go farther south down the maps and find out what's going down there. We'll see that on University in both directions around Cooper Creek, some issues there already, so be aware of that just west of the interstate. Also 41 southbound as you get past Bay Vista and head toward Weber and Siesta Drive. Checking our final maps now to the south. We'll check on that and find out a little blip there on 41 northbound around Nokomis as you're approaching the 681 bypass. Otherwise, pretty clear at 632. Well, call it a baptism by fire for John Bolton. Today is his first day as President Trump's national security advisor, and there's already a crisis to address, this one in Syria. John Lawrence has details of the suspected chemical attack.
National Security Advisor John Bolton starts his new position addressing this weekend's suspected chemical attack in Syria. Video coming out of eastern Ghouta appears to show hundreds of people bombarded with a suspected chemical agent. Dozens of deaths are reported. This follows a similar attack in 2017.
The United Nations investigated that chemical attack last year and said that it was done by the Syrian government. So we know that Assad is a war criminal.
The National Security Council is set to hold a small group meeting to discuss the situation and possible actions.
Last time this happened, the president did a targeted attack to take out some of the facilities that may be an option that we should consider now.
The Trump White House has already commented, with Vice President Pence condemning the attack. President Trump also tweeted a statement blasting Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, calling him an animal. Mr. Trump also threw blame on Russian President Putin for supporting Syria.
President Trump could decide to apply more ground forces in Syria. Right now we have forces there, but they're solely focused on countering ISIS.
It's so important that the president ramp up the pressure and the sanctions on the Russian government, because without the support of Russia, I do not believe that Assad would still be in office.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now, Syria and Russia are suspecting Israel in this attack. 6:33 right now.
Well, the crime scene tape goes down, the police leave, but there are people whose lives will never be the same.
Oftentimes, crime victims don't know what to do next to get justice and the help that they need. And law enforcement across the Suncoast are reaching out today to help those who need help during National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Marla Spence is live from the Child Protection Center in Sarasota with details of tonight's event. Marla?
Good morning, guys. Dozens of people will be at this center tonight. For some, it will be emotional for them to relive when that crime happened to them, but there is help available. Police officers and sheriff deputies will be here to assist and to meet with those victims. They'll be giving them advice and information on what to do next. There will be everything from legal advice to counseling, and victims will also be able to talk to one another about their experiences.
It's for victims of all crimes, no matter what the crime is. So it could be domestic violence, sexual battery, homicide, someone stole my bicycle, you know, those kinds of things. It doesn't matter what crime that the victim was part of. It's important to bring them together and to show them that they're not alone, that there is hope, there is support, there is lots of resources in the community to help them through.
That event will start at 6:30 tonight here at the Child Protection Center on South Orange Avenue in Sarasota. Tomorrow in the city of Bradenton, there will be a candlelight vigil with a dove release in honor of this week. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks, Marla, for the latest on this story and breaking news and also the first alert forecast. Our app is under My Suncoast or WWSB. A body found on the side of the road in Northport has sparked a death investigation by police. It was found on Winchester Boulevard just inside the Sarasota-Charlotte County line. As of this morning, police have not yet released the victim's identity or any other information for that matter. They are saying there should be no concern, though, for the public safety. Police also in Northport asking for your help to identify a man they say stole merchandise from a Walmart. Here is the man in some images picked up by surveillance cameras. Officers say he was spotted stealing merchandise from Walmart about 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. When a security guard confronted him right there in the picture, he became uncooperative and ran off. He left on a white motorcycle and ran several red lights in the process. If you recognize that man, call the Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen, 366-TIPS. Governor Scott is expected to announce his bid for the U.S. Senate today in Orlando. He'll make that announcement at the Orlando Construction Company. He's leaving office this year due to term limits, and he's been hinting at a run against Senator Bill Nelson now for more than a year. They have clashed about what to do about gun violence. President Trump has already publicly encouraged Scott to run for Senate. Nelson is Florida's only statewide elected Democrat. Also happening today, construction resumes on that $7.4 million pipe project in Anna Maria Island. Next up is 10th Street North at Gulf Drive. It'll be closed to drivers and remain closed until the end of the month. A detour is set up on 11th Street North that'll send travelers to Bay Drive North and then back onto Gulf Drive after that. Sarasota County Commissioners have a decision to make this week on a controversial hotel proposed for Siesta Key. This Wednesday, the commission is set to hold a hearing on whether or not to approve a zoning ordinance that would increase the allowable building height within the Siesta Key Overlay District. Now, plans for the hotel hit a snag in June last year when a county board rejected the developer's initial design to build a proposed hotel near Stickney Point Road and Midnight Pass Road, closer to the street.
Well, the good news, phase 1 of Venice's road repaving program is all but finished, but now comes the hard part, the downtown area. The project includes repaving 70 miles of bad roads and sidewalks, some curb repair and other upgrades to help those with disabilities. Now, the downtown phase of the project, which gets underway later on this month, will include the areas of West Tampa area and then West Venice and West Miami Avenues between Harbor Drive and US 41 Business, as well as Nokomis Avenue from Santa Maria Street south to Ponce de Leon. Now, the contractor is also going to be replacing sidewalks there during non-business hours. And speaking of taking care of things, who should be taking care of Venice City Parks? Well, the city council there says this week it's going to be pushing for more negotiations with Sarasota County toward a new parks agreement. Now, the city wants to be in charge of fewer parks to have to maintain and have a longer time to clean them, so it costs less for taxpayers. The county has been operating and maintaining 11 city-owned parks under the current agreement, plus the Venetian Waterway Park.
Yeah, Sarasota County is divesting of taking care of city parks.
Back to you.
You can kind of see both sides of that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one, especially on a smaller city budget.
Yeah, it's causing problems across the county right now.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we've got the latest in your First Alert weather and Traffic Plus.
Facebook users, that's us. We'll get some big privacy updates today. We'll tell you what it covers when we come back. But first, before we leave you, a look at Northport, where look, tangible evidence that the Atlanta Braves are indeed coming here besides that stadium. Besides the stadium project, there's also a Cornerstone Plaza storefront now where Braves fans can go by and talk about tickets and merchandise. It opens today in Northport.
That is right, but today is also going to see some dicey weather today and tomorrow, right, John Scalzi?
There'll be a few showers around today, no doubt about that. As the kids are picked up at the bus stops, you'll see temperatures that'll be mild enough, coming in the 70s, but it'll be partly cloudy and there's a chance of an isolated sprinkle. Better chances this afternoon when temperatures are about 82 degrees and the kids are coming home. Then you'll have about a 30% chance of showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. Better rain chances tomorrow, though. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
20 years ago, the moviegoers of Sarasota looked up at the silver screen and wanted something more. And they got exactly what they wanted. 20 years of some of the best independent films from around the world. The most iconic Hollywood stars walking the red carpet. The most glamorous parties in Southwest Florida. 20 years building up to the most exciting announcement in, well, 20 years. At the Sarasota Film Festival, April 13th to the 22nd.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Let's go right now to breaking news, a shooting that involved a police officer.
It happened about 1 o'clock this morning.
The investigators will be going door to door to these businesses.
We've got a couple of areas of low pressure that are going to be impacting our weather.
Issues in Manatee County. Congestion. Can avoid that and take the Green Bridge.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
It's a warm and kind of muggy start to the day, actually, with the dew point value coming in at 73. It feels humid out there. Air temperature is warm as well at 75, so the temperature and the dew point pretty close together, making the relative humidity high, and the air temperature itself pretty warm. So clearly we are in the warm, humid air mass, and frankly, that air mass is just kind of primed for showers and even thunderstorm development over the next 48 hours. For the morning hours, not so bad though, a rain chance at about 20%. That'll carry into the noontime hour, I think. Then as we head into the afternoon, rain chance will go up a little bit to about 30% and kind of hang there until the sun sets later this evening. So today, it's not going to be a rain out by any stretch of the imagination. We'll have a sun-cloud mix and maybe an isolated or scattered shower during the afternoon. Not so bad. Tomorrow's kind of a different story. We'll put that into motion, our future cast. Watch what happens. That south wind continues to bring the moisture and humidity our way. We deal with the cloud cover. Then a line of pretty significant showers sinks southward. That's part of a cold front that'll eventually bring us some drier, cooler air. Well, maybe not so much cooler, but certainly drier, more comfortable air by the time we get to Wednesday. But for Tuesday afternoon through evening and into the early morning hours on Wednesday, we'll watch that line of showers sink southward, providing parts of central Florida with some fairly heavy rainfall. And I'm talking accumulations of perhaps 1 inch to 2 inches here locally on the Sun Coast, and perhaps 3-inch rainfalls just a little bit further to our north. So significant. That'll certainly reduce the wildfire threat for a period of time anyway. Scattered showers right now to the north of us. That's kind of where they're going to stay for the most part today, the heaviest of the rain and the best chance of rain. That's because there's a warm front located right about here. And that warm front is lifting northward, taking those rain showers with it. But because we're in the warm, humid air that's always underneath the warm front, we have a chance of rainfall today too. And that's what we were just discussing. Tomorrow, a little area of low pressure lifts northward and drags a cold front across our state. That's the one that's going to bring us some slightly drier air located now to the north of us and bring it into our area for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I think the second half of the work week is going to be just spectacular. Lovely lower humidity air, comfortable daytime highs, even if they are on the warm side. And then that front will also kind of kick up our winds just a little bit. But the thing is that as the front moves through here tomorrow, we do have that chance of seeing some heavier downpours of rain, and that's why I've declared tomorrow a first alert weather day. Not because of a severe weather threat, but because of some disruptive, heavier rainfalls possible. Humid sun-cloud mix today, rains possible this afternoon, but not a big deal. Tomorrow, heavy rains are possible, and that's what we'll be on the lookout for. So if you take a look at the thunderstorm outlook across the country for tomorrow, it doesn't look too bad most anywhere except the state of Florida kind of stands out. Not looking for severe weather. We don't have a risk of that, but we do have a risk almost the entire peninsula of seeing some thunderstorm activity around, and certainly that's true here on the Sun Coast. Rainfall futurecast, well, kind of predictions for total rainfall amounts are a little tricky and a little hard to do, but I think a half an inch to 1 inch is a pretty good likelihood tomorrow. And there'll be pockets somewhere along west central Florida where the amounts will be even higher than that. That's not the only thing. You go into time, and after the front passes Wednesday, you get Thursday and Friday looking good. And then Saturday and Sunday, the next front comes through with another chance of rainfall. And on Sunday, I think as that front sinks south and clears us by Monday, could again see some rainfall amounts that are in excess of a half an inch or more. So there's plenty of time to work that out, and we'll be watching it very carefully, but that's the feeling. South wind comes in at about 10 knots today. You'll have 2-foot seas, light chop on bay and inland waters. Water temperature now 77 degrees. Couple of tides to tell you about. High tide comes at 11:09, low tide comes at 2:54, and another high tide comes our way at 7:43. And so here's your forecast. It looks like this. Daytime high today about 82, 40% chance of rainfall, kind of a sun cloud mix. Not a washout by any stretch of the imagination. Stay warm tonight under that moist, muggy air, and tomorrow we'll call it a first alert weather day, especially for the second half of the day. That's when we have the chance of about a 70% chance of showers, thunderstorms, perhaps some heavier rainfall as well. Total rainfall amounts tomorrow through early Wednesday, possibly in the 2-inch category. And then we'll watch things clear out on Wednesday. That should lead to a pretty nice Thursday with a daytime high of about 82. Friday looks pretty good as well with a daytime high of about 84 under mostly sunny skies. And then we'll look over the weekend with a 20% chance to 40% chance of showers. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Taking a look outside to your first alert traffic going on today. Not too many places, but you are starting to see things get really busy right now in Manatee. If you're heading over the bridges into Bradenton, those areas are starting to get congested, as well as 301. Lots of activity on 301, as there always is around this time of the day, as well as State Road 70. In Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad. You're starting to see some slowdowns as the part of 301 that runs through Sarasota is also busy, as well as University Parkway and Bee Ridge Road. Heading a little farther south in the area, those roads are still looking not too bad at this hour. No real traffic bumps to tell you out there. 6:49, that is your first alert traffic.
After a 2-week recess, Congress is back in session today, and this week they'll be asking questions to Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. He'll appear before Senate committees tomorrow and House committees on Wednesday. Zuckerberg says Facebook is taking steps to protect user data. Part of the plan includes labeling all political and issue ads and showing who paid for them. Facebook plans to tell 87 million users if their information was shared with Cambridge Analytica. Today, all 2 billion Facebook users will receive a notice on their news feed titled Protecting Your Information. There'll be a link for users to view what apps they use and what information was shared with those apps. You'll now have the option also to shut off apps individually or turn off third-party access.
All right, today in Pennsylvania, a big day as opening statements in Bill Cosby's sex assault retrial begin. The criminal case in Pennsylvania will hang on the word of his accuser, Andrea Constand. Now, she said she was at Cosby's home near Philadelphia in January of 2004 when she says that he drugged her and then assaulted her. Supermodel Janice Dickinson is also expected to testify this week for the prosecution. Now, in Cosby's first trial, which ended in a hung jury, his attorneys argue that Cosby and Constant had a consensual sexual relationship, and they questioned her version of exactly how it all happened.
6:50 up next, your top 7 before 7.
As well as look at your first alert weather and traffic as you get ready for the day, and one big movie trailer that was released.
All right.
Ray knows what it is. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The Wild Broadway series brings you Funny Girl. Fanny Bryce dreams of being famous and through sheer guts and determination becomes a star of the Ziegfeld Follies. Playing March 28th through April 15th, it's the songs and story that generations have grown to love. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Don't rain on my parade. Come see Funny Girl.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert weather app now.
All right, here are some of the headlines that we're ready for you today to make sure that you are ready for your day.
Here are our top 7, starting with John Scalzi's first alert forecast.
Yeah, so some interesting things going on over the next 48 hours. For today, we'll have kind of a sun-cloud mix and a chance for some late-day showers or storms, about a 30 to 40% chance. Some heavier rains are possible tomorrow. We'll call it a first alert weather afternoon tomorrow because of that possibility of heavier rains. And then skies clear Wednesday.
Okay, number 2, first alert traffic. So far, nothing major to report. The usual delays on 301 and also State Road 70. Otherwise, pretty clear. Number 3 now, Marla Spence in Sarasota.
Each day, police respond to crimes that leave lives shattered. Today, law enforcement is inviting crime victims to the Child Protection Center in Sarasota at 6:30 tonight for information and resources to help those victims move forward with their lives.
Number 4 now, Governor Scott expected to announce his bid for the U.S. Senate today in Orlando. He'll take on, if he announces that way, Democratic incumbent Bill Nelson.
Number 5, happening today, construction will resume on the $7 million pipe replacement project on Gulf Drive on Anna Maria Island.
Number 6, today, Facebook plans to tell users if their information was shared with Cambridge Analytica. In addition, all 2.2 billion Facebook users will now have the option to shut off apps individually or turn off third-party access.
And finally, number 7, what's trending? Yes, Ray. For us Star Wars fans, it's a good day. The brand spanking new trailer for Solo, a Star Wars story, just dropped hours ago. Oh, I can't wait to see all the good stuff over and over again. A Star Wars story was just announced as premiering, Ray, at this year's Cannes Film Festival. It premieres May 25th. And if you watch that trailer that's on my Facebook page, it tells you how old Chewbacca is, and you'll be surprised.
Oh, really?
But I'm not going to tell you because you're not going to watch it. Maybe John will watch it.
300.
Really close.
Really?
Down just a little bit, but not too much farther than that.
Hot dog.
John's my friend.
I'll tell you what, I am excited about that movie.
Me too. It's going to be a good one.
All right. 6:56, a pretty shot, some pastel sunrise out there. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast.
That's right. Good morning, America. Straight ahead.